Barney.
On the same. Hi, everybody, and welcome along to another episode of Meet Your Trading Experts live and free. My name is Paul Bottrell. I'm your host for today. And joining me in the show today is Lenka Taylor, Trend Trader. And look, we're going to introduce Lenka and talk to her a little bit more in a few minutes. And look, it's going to be a great show. Make sure you grab a seat and a coffee and settle yourself in. I really like the relatability of Lenka. I think sometimes, when we have people on and they've got a master's degree in this and they've done blah, blah with this and trade billions of dollars, it's hard to relate to this. And I really like Lenka's story because Lenka's just another one of us. She's just, I don't mean just, she's another family woman who's learned to trade, had her battles, worked it out and started to make some money. And I think those stories always carry fantastic value for the people and people listening and learning from it. I think there's always a moment for people. Look, the first thing that I always know is that people who turn up to things can still make it, and some are making it and some are battling. But if you keep turning up to things, you can still make it, because other ones are trying to find a way, and everybody eventually finds their way. It can just take some people a little while. Look, I want to talk about the market. Interesting time frame. I'm not going to bring any charts up, but if you are watching this, I do think at the moment this. I always find markets interesting when they start to settle between weekly pivot and monthly pivot. We've got Brent oil in there at the moment, and look, these will be key levels, guys. Now we're stuck in between weekly pivot and monthly pivot. Break below monthly pivot would end this bull run for mine, and a break above weekly pivot would definitely confirm that for mine. The other one I'm watching really carefully is cable. We picked the short on cable based on the cotton seasonal data last week, but it is also now stuck between weekly pivot and monthly pivot, and same thing kind of applies here for mine. We get another close below monthly pivot and a run down to 20-day moving average looks really likely to me. I'm not sharing my screen, so I'm just talking about what I'm seeing in the market. I don't have my screen ready to go, so I'm just chatting about what I can see. Hey, Hanan as well. Can you message me? You're supposed to message me after the show on the weekend. So you keep an eye on cable as well. I think a break below monthly pivot and a roll down looks pretty likely. And I think if we get a break above weekly pivot, I think we're back in the move up. So looking for 4 hourly charts to break and for me. And the other one that really interests me at the moment is Bitcoin, which is really testing weekly pivot right now. And we'd only need to drop another $100 and it would be below weekly pivot and back in that weekly pivot, monthly pivot gap. And I don't like trading stuff. I don't trade stuff between weekly pivot and monthly pivot generally. I like it to be on one side or the other. So I run into that gap, and I think we may see. I've got a recent trade with some stops around 46,600, and I think that'll get looked at. Pal talking, doing nothing now. Yeah, fair enough. If we can stay above weekly pivot on Bitcoin, I think we'll be on our way again. But if we drop below it and into that area, look, the gap between weekly pivot and monthly pivot is a no-go trading area for mine. It's an area where markets can spend a lot of time, and I tend to be reasonably careful in there. Just a quick look at some markets while you guys pile in. Nice to have you guys all with us today. Good to see you in the room, everybody. Look, my guest today is Lenka Taylor, and as I said at the start, I really like having people on the show who I think are relatable, and I think that means that for many people, what we're looking for is people who have been through a trading education course, had a bit of a struggle, worked it out, started to make some money, and who aren't people who have come through massive degrees or traded billions of dollars. That stuff's all cool, and those guys bring other interesting things. But I think if you like, the normal person who's trading and made a success of it has quite often got some keys and some secrets or some history which is relevant to everybody else and can help them to become successful. Lenka, how are you?
Hi, Paul. I'm well. Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me on the show.
Always a pleasure, Lenka. Always nice to hear. I'm sure we're going to get some great insights during the show from you. I'm going to start off today by asking you what you did before you started trading.
So before I started trading, I was actually a stay-at-home mum, and I was running a couple of small businesses just sort of for pocket money. The reason I was a stay-at-home mum because I was given a redundancy and taken a redundancy from my corporate job when my kids were very little. And I decided I didn't want to go back into the corporate world. So yeah, I just thought I'll try something else, and I'll try having my own business. And yeah,
I've got to imagine that it's pretty common, Lenka. Honestly, I can't imagine anyone having a break and deciding that they do want to go back into the corporate world. I've never worked corporate, but boy, I don't hear anything good about it. I don't hear anyone thinking, look, I understand the money's good, but boy, they seem like tough places to work to me.
Yeah, definitely. It's long hours and just the commitment in time, which at the time with small kids, I didn't want to have.
Yeah, nice. So you took a redundancy, you started trading. You did I'm going to call it, I think you started in the same place that a number of us started. You were in Australia, Chloe, myself. Mikey was in Australia, Chloe, myself were in the UK. George in South Africa. We all started doing an intro forex course. I guess I was trading before, but we all did an intro forex course with the same company, and a company which didn't give many of us the perfect start in trading, but it gave us a start in trading, and a lot of us has gone and done very well from that. Is that where you were when you started? Was it all beer and skittles and lots of money, or was it a bit tough early?
No, it was really tough. So at the beginning, many months, I just couldn't make it work. I didn't make any money. I was making constant losses. And yeah, I guess I didn't have the confidence. I didn't have the trust in the strategy. And things were just not working. I was over trading, definitely just putting trades on, all the time. Working really long hours, which I didn't want to do. And I was thinking, what's wrong with this picture? I'm doing this to reduce my hours, yet I was sort of putting in quite a bit of effort. So yeah, no, it wasn't that great to start with, that's for sure.
Cool. Look, I'm going to ask you a question, Lenka, because I've always find this part really interesting. So the reason we start trading is to get away from the long hours. But in truth, to really master trading at some stage, there is a need to spend some time in front of charts, right? I don't think you can trade in 5 and 10 minutes a day and be functional and profitable, but you can't really understand markets without at some stage spending a bulk of time in front of charts. Do you think you got some benefit from the long hours?
Oh, absolutely. Look, I did. I learned a lot. I learned a lot from the mistakes. And then when I started developing my own strategy and started being profitable, basically I looked at all the good trades and trying to see what they had in common. So I did spend still a lot of time in front of the charts to understand exactly what was happening and why it was happening in a way and how I could repeat it. So what was the pattern that could help me stay profitable and keep going forward?
Look, I'm keen to pick up on that because that's a really interesting thing. And just for starting point, how long ago did you start? How long ago was this first course? This period of trading long hours with young kids. How long ago was that?
So I started in 2015. So that's 5.5 years ago now.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay. Which isn't too bad now. Interesting. One of the things, as you know, I come from a bit of a sporting background. And one of the great debates between, I think, modern day sporting coaches is, as a coach, is your job to take people's strengths and make them better, or to take people's weaknesses and improve them in that area there. Now, for you in your trading journey, you took your strengths, and so it wasn't going that well. You were working really hard. At some point, did you have an aha moment where you just went, actually, this is just ridiculous, and I've got to find another way? How did you transfer out of the mindset from this isn't working to I'm going to make this work?
So I was just really frustrated and disappointed when I had about 5 or 6 months of constant losses, and not just small losses, like they were big losses. And I felt really sick in my stomach, actually, just to think this is just not working. And I guess like I'm quite a stubborn sort of person, and I really thought, well, there are traders out there that can do it. I'm sure I can do it too. And I just felt like, well, if I applied myself and I could work things out, that I would make it, because I thought the hours, if I could reduce the hours and be profitable, that would just be the best combination. And I think I was just determined, and I thought, okay, I need to do something about this. And yeah, I consciously decided to get profitable. and I decided that I was only going to trade one currency pair and
Yep.
one time frame at that time, and really just repeat until I worked out a pattern that was working for me.
Look, I really like that. So what was the currency pair you chose?
So I did Aussie USD.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
And as an Australian, you've got a little bit of intimate knowledge about Australia when news is coming out, that kind of stuff. So it's a currency that you're familiar with, and you traded one currency, one strategy for a period of time while you got your method clear, right?
Yeah, but I don't actually do any news. So I'm one of those people that I live under a rock, and I don't follow the news. I don't understand what's happening with economics. And I think that's one probably thing that sets me apart too, that I don't even have the interest or time to do it. So I only really rely on the technical analysis that I do on the charts.
Great, you're straight technicals. Look, I'm going to ask you this again. So you've started off, it's not going very well. You decide consciously you're going to become profitable, which is really interesting. And I think for people who are listening, to me, that sounds like you made a decision to stop just trading and to start trading in a way that will make you profitable. And a lot of people just place trades, right? And you've said, okay, I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm going to find a way. And you've gone back through and you've had a look at your winning trade. And you've gone, well, these are the familiar things in these winning trades, and I'm going to duplicate that.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I did. I was just looking at patterns. Like I like puzzles, and I like doing all those things where you have patterns. And I felt that looking at the charts was like that. It was just like a one big massive puzzle. And if I could find a strategy that had some clues in terms of how I could repeat it, then that would work. Yeah.
And then you took it back and you said, okay, well, these are the patterns. This is the way that I'm going to trade. And you took it back to Aussie US dollar and you traded simply that on a daily or a 4-hourly chart.
I did daily initially. Yeah.
Yep. How long were you one? Because this is interesting enough, and I know we talk about this a little bit occasionally, but Jeff and I spent a long time trading the slingshot on the euro. Now, while there were 5 entries we used, it was one chart, one strategy, and we spent, I think, maybe 2 years trading just that. There were no other pairs we did. We just did the euro, and boy, did we know the euro well in those days. You know, we just knew it to death. So how long did you spend on one currency, one strategy?
I did about 3 months just
Yep.
on the one currency and one time frame.
Yep.
And then I added different time frames, and then I added the different currencies after that.
Fantastic. So look, if you're hi soon. Look, if you're in the room and you're looking for a process, here's a process for you. I guess it's first of all, decide that you're going to be profitable and not just trade. And look, I was talking to Ash this morning, New Zealand time, evening UK time, and we were talking about the difference between trading an edge and trading your feeling, and that the one thing we're really sure is not an edge in the market is your intuition and your feeling. That what is an edge in the market is something that repeats, that gives you a slight probability of success that you can repeat over and over again. And that what most traders are doing really is they're trading how they're feeling at any given time. And that is a recipe for disaster. And being able to cut it back and find that's what you did, right? You found a very prescribed way of trading. And you just became very disciplined in doing that. And this is what you do, right? You don't look at the chart one day and say, oh, that's going up, I might buy it. You go, is this what I'm looking for or not? Is this my pattern or not, right?
That's right. Yeah, I certainly look for the pattern and the repeatability. If I can see that the same setup works for a currency, and it's one of those things, it's like an 80-20 rule. It will work 80% of the time, and the rest it won't. But having that extra bit of comfort that I know that certain setup works, that's great. The same with a stop loss. The stop loss I place at the same point, but then sometimes it gets triggered, sometimes not. And if it gets triggered even just by a little bit, I go, oh, well, I could change the stop loss, but I don't, because then next time I might not make my profit target if I manipulate the stop loss just because, one time it didn't work. So I accept that there's always going to be some losses in the trading. I can't just go, okay, I'm going to eliminate everything until the, sort of, there's no such thing as a perfect trade in a way.
Well, yeah. And even if there is a perfect trade, it wins 80% of the time and loses 20% of the time. It doesn't matter, right? This is just part of it. And that being able to accept that you can do everything right and lose is tough psychologically. It takes a bit of getting your head around that, right?
Yeah, that's definitely true. Yeah, I had to do a lot of sort of mindfulness and breathing and all that kind of stuff to get my headspace in the right place and be able to, I guess, understand that that is the way it is and just accept it and then go with it.
Yeah, it's one of those things, isn't it, that it doesn't matter how many times you say it and how many times you hear it. It's not how we want it to be, and the fact that it is that way is still frustrating, and it still has moments. You can doesn't matter how good a run you've been on. When you see a trade you think is a great trade and it loses, it's still frustrating, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Cool. Look, so one of the things I want to talk a little bit about is obviously we're not going to talk about your strategy in absolute detail on a free YouTube interview, but I'm interested in the fact that actually before we get into your strategy too much, let me go back a little bit. So you started off about 5.5 years ago. You lost some money for a period of time, and let's be fair, you didn't lose some money. You lost money every month for a period of time,
Yeah.
following a strategy that didn't provide you the definition of an edge. It provided you the definition of not an edge, right?
Yeah.
And and then you started trading your strategy. And really, when you're trading your strategy and you're trading every week and you're in a good routine, this is a strategy that is profitable. Sort of how many months are you going to be profitable? 5 months a year, 7 months a year, 9 months a year? How many months a year do you think you'd be profitable trading the way you're trading?
Yeah, probably like I would find, say, 4 months profitable, 1 or 2 months not profitable. And then again, yeah, it sort of goes in cycles because I trade a trend trading strategy. So if the market's going sideways, then my strategy doesn't work. So the only thing is risk management and staying out of the market, right? So yeah, I find there's always 1 or 2 months that are not profitable, and then the rest are profitable, like cycles like that.
Fantastic, fantastic. And one of the things with your strategy, we should be really clear that the way that you trade, Linka, you're not looking to make 10 and 15% months, right? You're someone who's looking to make 2 or 3% a month on the top side and to lose sort of max 1 and 1.5% on the downside, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So I find that if because I look for the direction on daily and then for the entry setup on 4 hourly chart, then the sort of risk to reward ratio, 2 to 1 or 3 to 1, is about, you know, I could probably achieve that 80% of the time, the 80-20 rule again.
Fantastic. So you're looking to succeed about 80% of the time. And about how many trades do you take a month?
So probably, well, it depends. A month, maybe sometimes only 3,
Yeah.
and then maybe up to 11, 12, something like that. Yeah.
Right.
So I usually a few a week if I'm doing a weekly, but if I'm, yeah, sometimes a bit less.
And again, when you say that, you don't trade every day, right? You've now got the
No.
time return ratio sorted out, right? How much time do you spend actually trading in a week?
So my own trading, I spend about 5 hours.
Yeah.
I usually trade on the Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday afternoons, and I only look for about 15 minutes. I just check if the trades match, what I'm expecting, what I'm looking for, and that's it. Go through the charts, and if there are any matches, then I take the trade, and if not, that's it. And then I look again in the next 4 hours. And that's it. I don't trade on Mondays or Fridays. Yeah.
Is that purely the Monday and Friday thing? Is that because in your going back at your records, Mondays and Fridays didn't work as well, or is that just because Mondays and Fridays are by the weekend and you fancy having a long weekend?
I did find that my records would show that my Wednesday trades were usually the most profitable. So I played around with trading just on a Wednesday, and then sometimes there were good setups on the Tuesday, so I included the Tuesday, and then sometimes there was good trades on the Thursday. So yeah, so I sort of worked it out that way, bit of trial and error at the beginning. But I find that if I stick to it, it does work, because I find the Monday trade setups, even if there is a setup that matches my criteria, it's usually it doesn't work out. So in terms of the probability, if I was going to take a trade for some reason, Wednesdays are most profitable.
Fascinating, fascinating. Look, it's interesting that you know this sort of stuff. And look, for those in the room, if you're listening, if you have any questions, pop them in the box and I will ask Lenka the questions. Remember, at the end of the show today, we're going to do a prize draw. Somebody is going to get 1 month of Lenka's trade calls for free for a month. So somebody who's in the show today will win that prize. She's generously offered that to us. I've asked her for a little bit of extra as well, so I'm not quite sure what she's going to come up with. We've asked her to add a little bonus in for those that attend the show today. So, like if somebody's following your trading, basically they might get one trade on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and some management, and that's basically it. So actually trading your way is going to take very little time, and we're looking for them to make a couple of percent a month, a little bit more from doing this, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So only like 1 or 2, maybe 3 trades max in a week, depends on what's happening. Yeah. And then I do update on the trade management in terms of moving the stop loss and things like that.
And this is simple stuff, right? Your strategy is you come back and you found stuff that works for you, and it's not an overly complicated strategy, right?
Yeah, no, it's very simple. Like for me, I really wanted to see the chart. A lot of the things that I saw online, the charts are always on the dark background with so many lines all over it, and I can't see the price action with that. So my charts are always on the white background with minimal indicators, really, just so I can see clearly the price action and what's happening.
And it's a price action led strategy, right? And it's, look, without again wanting to teach your strategy in this show, yours is not a run of the mill. Find a trend, find a retracement, find a reversal bar. It's slightly different to the conventional trend trading strategy, right? It's not wildly different, but it's got its own way that's a little bit different to that, right?
Well, yeah, I guess it's different because it's just what I see and what I've developed. So I don't sort of follow some kind of generic formula in terms of how I do it, but I do in a way wait for the retracement, but then I have like a certain setup that I look for in the entry area that I'm looking for. And if that happens, then I know that the trade is, again, 80-20 rule, likely to be profitable than if I take the trade outside that area.
I like it, Lenka. If you had, and I love this question, I ask this every week, if you had one piece of advice for new traders, what would it be?
One piece of advice would be stick to your plan because I always find that I get unstuck if I don't follow my plan. And if you follow the plan and it's for a trend trading strategy, then it's only going to work during trend trading, right? When the trend is trending. So when the trend is not trading and you're still using that strategy, make sure that you've got really tight risk management, because that's really going to save your business in terms of your trading business and keep your profits and your capital locked, because a trend trading strategy in a sideways market does not work.
Yeah, look, and it's one of the things, I guess it's one of the great skills of a trader, isn't it, is to, as you do it more and more, try and identify what the right markets look like, right? What is trending and what isn't. Look, I really like the word you use in there. It's business, right? And, actions to wealth, online trading profits, we're education businesses, right? And I used to run the indoor sports arenas in New Zealand, indoor cricket, indoor netball arenas for a long period of time, and they were businesses, and we had a lot of fun, and they were great. But we also, they had to run at the end to make some money, right? We didn't run them just for free. And, as a businessman, I don't wake up every morning and think to myself, well, I wonder if I can throw $200 out the door. And yet traders seem to look at charts and just go, well, I wonder if that'll work. I wonder if that'll work. I wonder if that'll work. And it's, when you start talking about business, it suggests to me that this is about taking a calculated risk to you're prepared to invest some time. You're prepared to build your knowledge, invest some time, take a calculated risk to try and get a return. And I think that when I start thinking about trading edges, I think too many people are just looking at stuff and trading instead of going and treating it as a business where I'm looking for a return on my time. And I think that's a distinction that for people who are battling to trade, it's a really important distinction. Again, this thing you did, Lenka, where you go, actually, it's amazing how many people come out of stressful long hour backgrounds and they come to trading to give that stuff away, and they immediately duplicate it because that's their pattern, that's their habit, it's what's comfortable for them, and they fall straight back into it. And being able to take a step back and go, actually, I didn't do this to work 15 hours a day in front of a computer and pee into a box, and pee into a bucket. I actually did this to have a quality of life. And how do I do that? I think is a really important question. So, okay. So, see if I've got a bit of a summary here. Learned to trade, didn't go very well. Took a step back, took a breath and said, how am I going to make this basically be a business? How am I going to make this actually work? Went back to winning trades, which I think is really interesting for people at home. I think this is the stuff. Do you go back and look at your losers and try and change stuff? Or do you go back and look at your winners? And I think what you don't do, in my opinion, don't do both. Don't look at your losers and your winners because you'll confuse your brain. Go back and look at your winners, or go back and look at your losers. If you go back and look at your winners and go, well, what worked, right? And then duplicate that. Pull your options back. You went to one currency pair, one time frame, and you practiced this method until it was clear to you. And then you're starting to broaden out the time frame and the currencies again. And I think really important in this, Lenka, I think just trade your plan, and have a plan, trade the plan. I'll talk a bit about that in a second as well. And this really is the pathway that we took to go from being losing every month to winning 70% of the months, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Following the plan is huge. And it psychologically, it's quite hard, especially when you see, sometimes there are good setups approaching, or it looks like it might be a good trade, and you go in and getting too early because it looks good, and suddenly, a couple of hours later, it doesn't look that good anymore. So yeah, really sticking to the rules and going, okay, I'm waiting for the candle to close, wait for it to close.
I'm just watching Bitcoin drop below my weekly pivot, and wonder whether I did that this morning, Lenka, whether I might have got my time out. I might have been just a little bit early on my roll into Bitcoin this morning. Okay, so one of the things that I think is really important is that psychologically, there's a real difference to trading a plan. If you write a plan and you follow it, you put something between you and the results. So if stuff wins, it's because the plan is good. And if stuff doesn't win, it's because the plan is no good. And that's different to I'm making mistakes or I'm good. And that means that you can sit at distance from it and revise the plan without all the emotion of me. This isn't me. This is my plan's working or my plan isn't working. Well, if my plan's not working, it's not because I'm doing dumb things. It's because my plan's not working, and I can pull that to pieces and have a look at why. And I think it gives people who do that a really different psychology, a very different way of looking at the good times and the bad times.
Yeah, definitely, because it can be hard. If you constantly adjusting your trading, because you think, well, that trade didn't work, I need to adjust. And then the next trade, oh, that didn't work, so I need to adjust. Really, you're not moving forward. If you have a trading plan and you accept that it works a certain percentage of the time, and it doesn't another percentage, and you just keep trading it, then over months and months of trading, if you're getting those results, then the plan is working as it was designed and as it was tested, and that's good. As long as overall it's profitable, just stick with it.
Do you have a number in your head where you would say, actually, I've now lost 15 of my last 25 trades, and that's outside the ratio for my strategy, and it's time to go and have a look at what's going on? Do you have a number which is acceptable for you and a number which isn't acceptable for you as far as losses?
I don't like to have more than 2 losses in a row.
We could do a quick survey. I don't think anybody likes to have more than 2 losses in a row, but what you're saying is that at more than 2 losses in a row, you start to have a look at what you're doing.
Yeah, or I start to think, okay, is this market really trending? Because maybe it's not, and I just need to stop and wait for the cycle, the trend to basically confirm again, and then start the trading again.
How easy is it to walk away and have a break?
Yeah, sometimes it's hard, but I don't work very hard, so sometimes it's quite easy. I'm like, yep, cool. I just have the time off.
I've had my 2 losses. I'm out of here. Screw this market. I'll come back next week. Do you if you do that, if you take a couple of losses in a row and you have a break, is that the break till the end of the day, or is that the break for a few days? Or does it depend a little bit on how things are?
Oh, it's for the whole week. Like
Yeah.
that's it. Yeah, for the whole week. And like on the upside too. So if I get a really good return, say in the first week of the month, and the market is moving, I might take the rest of the month off, because really I'm interested in locking the profits. I'm not interested in trading every week. And what I find is that if I do get a number of good trades, then usually the following week or weeks, the market is retracing. So there is nothing for me to take anyway. So yeah, sometimes it's like that.
I really like that, Lenka. I think it's one of the things. Look, one of the things that I used to, when I was on the floor in London, some of the guys sometimes would have a percentage per month. If they made that percentage, they'd stop. And I wasn't a big fan of that, because I always felt like, boy, you're just in sync. Things are great. Make some money, man. Get into it. But I think the whole thing about having a really good run, if you have a really good run, you're right that markets don't just go up in a line. They retrace and they pull back. And if you just put in 4 or 5 really good trend trades in a row, you can expect a retracement. And that's the way the market works. Gary's asking, what's the average monthly percentage profit? Can you give us anything on percentage of profits?
Yeah, about I would say 2 to 3% in a month. Yeah.
Great. So again, this isn't a get rich quick miracle. This is a behave in a consistent way. And look, 2 or 3% a month, 25, 40% a year. You're trading 15 minutes a day, 3 days a week, and some months you just have three weeks off. It doesn't sound too bad to me.
Yeah, no, it's a pretty good deal. I'm happy with it.
I got a question here from Hanan. Do you set a target money on how much you're going to make?
No, I'm the target is determined by the risk that I'm going to take, because really at the end of the day, it's what risk am I prepared to take, right? And if that risk, because I do risk to reward ratio, so if I'm feeling like I want to take more risk, then the reward's going to be better. But I can't set a target for a profit if I'm not willing to take that risk to actually make that profit, if that makes sense.
So let me sort of go this right. Are you saying you've got a set target? So therefore, if you want to make more, you put the risk up in the trade, the risk percentage of your account up in the trade.
Well, yeah. So because my risk to reward ratio would always be like 1 to 2, 1 to 3.
Yeah.
So yeah, if I wanted to make more money and I go, okay, it looks like the trend is, say, just beginning and it looks really good, and there is like a long way between where the price action is to the say weekly trend line or something like that, then I might put more risk, more percent on risk for that particular trade. But then I would be consistent for the whole week, because within that week when I'm trading, then I find I would keep the risk the same.
Okay. Cheers, Lenka. Look, again, if you have any questions for Lenka, put them in the box. If you're on Facebook or YouTube, you can put them into the chat box there, and we'll have put them into the chat box here and let us know they're there. So if you have any questions, let us know. I've got a couple of final questions for Lenka before we do a prize draw. Someone is going to win 1 month of her broadcast script. She's going to send out the trades to you. It sounds like you might have 5 or 6 trades to take in the next month. You'll get that for free. So do make you've got to be in the Zoom room to get the prize. So do make sure that you are in the Zoom room to get the prize. So one of the things I really like, Lenka, is that I think I'll be careful saying this, but in your life, people can do simple things and still make money trading, right?
Yes, simple is quite good. Yeah.
So it's
I'm for simplicity.
It's not a complicated strategy, right?
No. Yeah, and anyone can follow along. It's more about having the consistency and, I guess, the discipline to do it.
Look, I'm going to use a word that I don't love, but to a degree, Lenka, this is the boring strategy for the burnout people, right? if you're sick of the yo-yo, if you're sick of making 8% one week and losing 12 the next, if you're looking to get off the yo-yo, to get off the roller coaster and have a more consistent experience, this is an approach you can use, right?
Yes, definitely. It's more of a smoother ride than the roller coaster.
So perhaps calm, as a calmer experience would be a nicer word to use than the boring. This is a calm trading experience, right? If you lose twice in a row, you might have a break. You're not going to draw down 5 or 10%, right? This is low drawdown, solid return cope trading, right? Yeah. And look, if someone mastered it, they could just double the risk and change that from making 2 or 3% a month to making 4 or 6% a month, right? They could do that if they wanted to, yeah. and still keep the drawdowns well within a level, right? It's one of the things that I really like. Morris Capital talk about the accelerator session, profit twice, drawdown over a period of time. So if you make 12% over a period of time, they want you to draw down less than 6%. If you can do that, professional traders interested in having a chat with you about your record and your system seems to almost be designed to do that. It's a system where your profit over 12 months would be more than twice your drawdown, your maximum drawdown in that period, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Look, if people want to watch you do this, they can watch you on YouTube, right? They can actually watch you trade this stuff, right?
Yep. So I've been doing the live show at 10 a.m. on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. So 10 a.m.
What time is that? Is that 10 a.m. Sydney?
10 a.m. Singapore time.
So 10 a.m. Singapore time. They can watch you live on YouTube. Great. Now, look, I don't think we've got this really. Do you have the link for the 10 o'clock show? Link, are you just live on YouTube, or can they watch it out of Zoom as well?
I think it's repeated. I'm not sure if it's on Zoom. Yes, of course. I'm live on Zoom, so they can join me on the Zoom, and then it's on YouTube, and it's also replayed, I think, at a later time.
You've got the link. Yeah, I know you'll have that link. If you can ask James, I think James is working late tonight, so if you can find that link, that would be good. Otherwise, when you're doing the prize draw, I will find that link. So we are going to, in a few minutes, do the prize draw. We'll come back to this stuff. We've got some great questions. Replay at 2 p.m. Sing time. Look, people are watching. They know it's 10 a.m. Sing. It's replayed at 2 p.m. Sing. And we will get can share the link with us. I will share the link with you, Thomas. If Mike can't get it off James, then when she's doing the prize draw, I'll jump into my Zoom in the background and sort that out for you guys. Hi, Lenka, do you use EMA 5 and 10 for your strategy across all currency pairs?
Yeah, that's just my base. Yeah.
Great. Okay. So I am in the background now trying to get some Zoom links. So look, in a few minutes, Lenka, we're going to do a prize draw. Somebody in the room is going to win a month free for your broadcast group, so they can see your trades, follow your trades, full management. And again, they're not going to get 20 trades a day. They're going to get a couple of trades a week, maybe somewhere between 2 or 3 and 10 for the month. And we're going to give that away to somebody in the room. Then I'm going to put the hardware on you because I'm going to ask you for a little bit more. Okay. Never quite, yeah. I'm just reading my notes. Never quite goes to script. So we asked you earlier, Lenka, if you had one piece of advice for new traders, what would it be? And you said, trade. You have a plan, build a plan. If there's one thing that you wish someone had taught you earlier, what would it be?
Taught me earlier to manage my risk. Oh, geez. Yeah, definitely. Just managing risk, not just per trade, but per portfolio. So, it's fine. I can put a 0.25% on each trade, but if I take 100 trades like that, then that's not managing my risk. So really, definitely a really tight risk management. I would have sort of liked to have my head around that earlier. That's for sure.
Look, it's one of the things, isn't it, that all of this stuff comes back to other stuff, right? I'm just finding this link for you in the background. So while I'm talking, I'm just trying to copy the registration link and send it to Mai. I've got it copied, so I'll get it to Mai so that she can get it in and share with everybody in the different things. When you managing risk on a trade is really important, and we spend quite a lot of time on it, right? Mai, that link's in your Skype. If you can grab it out of there, please. Oh, there we go. Doing the webinar session. There we go. She's got it. Well, you I think that is the one. Yep. Look, if you can click on it and see where it takes you, might have to take it into a Zoom registration. It's the right one. Sorry, guys. It's hard to. I'm a bloke, and I've always been able to multitask. I can do multiple things badly, but I can't do multiple things well. Sorry, Lenka. So managing this kind of trade is really important, right? And it's how we stay in business. It's why we are a business, because we understand that it's a risk. We're looking for a return, and that's how it works. But managing risk on a portfolio is really important as well. And one of the things that I think is really important about it is exactly what you said. So if you take 100 trades at 0.25% risk, not only are you not trading within a responsible risk, but you're not learning to take the best trades. And it's only when you limit the risk on a portfolio and say, well, I'm not going to have more than 3 trades at risk or more than 5 trades at risk at one time, so therefore I'm only going to take the best trades, do you evolve as a trader. So it's really important to have the risk on your per trade. But the portfolio risk is something that we don't talk about a lot. I really like it as an answer, Lenka. It's a great answer. I think interesting, guys, if you're listening to this, you're telling I'm a bloke. I think there's some really good learning for this, guys. I really encourage you guys, if you get a chance to come back through and have a listen to the recording of this show. I think there's some really good stuff if you're a trader who wants to improve your performance on how to do that. Got a question for you. Did you trade on demo to start with, Lenka?
No, I did not. I started on a live account, small capital to start with. That sort of was part of the criteria for doing the course. And then, I didn't like that. I did open a sort of like a demo account after that. And then I went back to trading a smaller capital. And then I actually jumped when I was doing well, I jumped the capital, and that set me back again because my mindset couldn't cope. So then I learned that increasing the capital, you need to do it gradually, and make sure that your mindset is playing along. Basically, yeah.
Look, it's one of the things I really like about your story, Lenka, is that we hear these horror stats about all these traders who fail and all the rest of it, but it's you've made a success out of it. You've made a success out of it by learning how to do things in a calm and sensible manner. I say every week at the end of this, my shows, I always say the same thing. Look, just stay calm and make good decisions, and it'll work out. And if you can stay calm and make good decisions, it will work out. But it's easier said than done. And you appear to have learnt your lessons. And I think it's a huge part of it, right? I think.
I found.
Yep.
Yeah. I was going to say I did learn a lot of valuable lessons, especially about, even if you're trading a strategy, but you're not fully relaxed and really just in the right mindset. I had a property I was renovating, and so I was trading in the morning before all the tradies arrived, and then I had people talking to me over the shoulder and whatever, and it just didn't work. And I think the reno was for about 12 weeks. And in that time, I made losses and, I didn't trade very well. And I thought, well, was that really worth it? Maybe I should have just taken that 3 months off and, restarted afterwards. Because really, if I can't have that peace and quiet to sit down, look at the charts and really pay attention to what I'm seeing, follow the strategy, then it's not working. It's really be relaxed.
I've got to say, I'm really lucky. In fact, I'm in an office here, and my wife's got a bit of space over there, but we're about to split out and have two large offices each in the house. I really like I think of the people in lockdown who are trying to trade with family at home and people with stuff going on around them. And boy, that's not easy. That is tough. I like what you're saying, Lenka, that ability just to go, well, look, if I'm going to be distracted all day today, then actually I'm just going to have a break from it, right? I like that. Helen asks, what's Lenka's trading personality type per Gordon if she knows? Do you happen to know? Otherwise, I can let you know.
I don't know what the personalities are.
Look, basically, there's an animal given to each one, but it's people who trade for less than 1-to-1, people who trade for 1-to-1, people who trade for 3-to-1, people who trade for 5-to-1. you're the 3-to-1 type person, right? You're looking to get around 2 to 3 to 1 per trade, right? So
yeah, that's right.
Helen, that would make Lenka a leopard in the Gordon world. A leopard? It was a leopard, wasn't it? Yeah, I think it's a leopard. That's it's the cat that hunts. I think it's a leopard that he uses for that. We're going to be talking about that actually. If you guys are listening, do keep Easter Saturday in your calendar. We are going to be doing a bit of a recap on the Wave Rider, and we've got a few people who are trying to get back into trading have had a break. And we're going to run that on Easter Saturday as the plan at this stage. And we're talking about trading personality as part of that. Jaguar, you are right. Sorry, Helen. You're a Jaguar, Lenka, as far as trading personalities go. That was another great session. So look, we've got the link in there. If you want to watch Lenka on YouTube, click on the link. And again, it's always the same, right? If you come into their Zoom session, you're able to ask a few more questions, have more interaction. If you want to watch on social media, while we do pass those on, it's perhaps not quite so interactive, but you can go to the YouTube channel, Actions to Wealth Facebook, Online Trading Profits Facebook, Actions to Wealth Twitter, all cover the live stream of Lenka's show. Lenka, it's 10 o'clock in the morning, but it's only 2 mornings a week? 3 mornings a week?
Say that again, sorry?
What mornings of the week is it?
Oh, the show, Tuesday
Yes.
and Wednesday, 10 a.m. Singapore time.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay. Look, okay, so I think what we'll do now is I think it's prize draw time. So this is what we've got. We've got the link in there, and I'm going to ask Maya to put it in again before she does the prize draw. If you want to sit into Lenka's shows, you can register for that now and go into the webinars. You can also track that down, and there'll be reminders of that on the in the broadcast group and on social media as well. I'll get Maya to post that link to Lenka. There we go. That's great. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do a prize draw. And remember this, guys, we're going to ask you guys, you've got to be in the room to win the prize. So we're going to draw somebody else to get a month of Lenka's broadcast group for free. And then after that, I'm going to ask her if she's prepared to give our people a special something. So let's do the prize draw first. Then we'll ask for the special something. If you have any questions, throw them in the chat and we will answer them for you guys after that as well. Maya, you ready with the prize draw? The Wheel of Fortune. Here we go, guys. These are people just in the room. Obviously, we've got other people listening in on Facebook, etc. Look, our winner is Sam. Now, Sam, you have got 15 seconds to jump into the chat and tell us that you are here. So we know you are here, and if you are, we will give you the prize. And if you are not listening, if you're not actually in attendance and following, then we will give the prize to somebody else. We will do a second draw. Always the same way in this show. We always draw. Gosh, nothing from Sam yet. The clock is ticking down. Sam, if you're in the room and you want the prize, you need to go click on the at the bottom and go to the chat icon and click something in the chat so we know you are here. There we go. Sam, you're in. You are the winner. Now, you will get 1 month free of Lenka's group. Maya will take some notes and pass them on to James, and he will put you into that group in the next few days. Lenka, let's do something for the rest of them. What else you got for me?
Well, I really don't want for anyone to miss being part of my channel. So what I thought is I would offer everyone to join for free this month till the end of the month.
So everybody can have a free month, 2 or 3% for nothing.
Yeah.
No pressure.
No pressure.
Okay, so Maya, have you got the link for that? We are going to give everybody a free trial for 1 month of Lenka's group. Maya, do you have a link? There we go. So the first month free, you've got to use. Fantastic, Simon. Always the same, eh, Simon? Always the first one into it. Brilliant. So, guys, click on the link. You will get 1 month free. You guys know how this works, guys. If at the end of the month you don't cancel the offer, you'll get charged at the end of the month for the next month. So if you want to continue, then click on the link and stay and pay. And if you don't want to continue, then after sort of 28, 29 days, just cancel it. You'll be given some kind of reminder from Thrive Card, no doubt, for that stuff. Cheers, guys, and thanks to everybody for the comments on the offer. Nice to see you in the room again, Charlene. I hope trading is going well for you guys. Thank you, Lenka. It's great to have you as a guest. We always look forward to chatting to you. And I Maybe it's just the New Zealander in me, but I really like the sort of laid back, down to earth approach that comes with your trading. And I really look forward to seeing another group of people who are able to take advantage of it over the next month. And I do encourage you guys to. It's really easy to not value things that are given to you for free. So if we're going to give this for free, I really encourage you to take a moment and to follow these trades. And look, one of the things, you can place these trades on your phone, providing you can have a way to control your risk on your phone. So you can do it quite comfortably off these broadcast groups. Next week, I understand that we will have Julian McCree in the room. He'll be joining me as my special guest next week as we do meet our trading experts. As we stay in Australia and New Zealand for guests for a little period, having done the crypto thing recently. So I'll be back same time next week with Julian. In the meantime, I'm going to get Maya to post that link again. You guys can have 1 month free of Lenka's broadcast group. Look, ongoing, guys, that is $29.95 a month, isn't it, Lenka?
Yes, that's right.
So great value, and look, you guys can have a look at your results and decide if you want to continue that. There it is, guys. So make sure you get that. There's no look. We're not going to put any limit on the first 5 today or anything like that. If you're in this session, that link is there. Click it today, please. Click it today. But I'm not going to limit it to the first 3, the first 5, the first 10. If you're in this session and you want to do this for free for a month, just click on the link and do it for free for a month. Have a wonderful week, guys. Stay calm, make good decisions. It all works out. I think Lenka's story has a lot of merit in it for people, that huge amount of traders who sit between -2% and +2% a month and just tick along around break even. If that's where you are, just have a break and stop and come up with a plan to become somebody making between 0 and 2% a month or 0 and 3% a month. Work out how to if you're not where you want to be, then stop doing what you're doing and work out a way of doing it differently where you've got a better chance of success. Either have a look at all your losing trades or have a look at all your winning trades, and one or the other, and work out what you've got to stop doing or work out what you've got to start doing, and it'll work out. Lenka, once again, thank you very much for your time. Much appreciated.
Thank you very much, Paul, for having me. And thank you very much, everyone who came along, participated, and being here. Thank you.
Cheers, Lenka. We will see you on YouTube next week. Thank you very much. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night. See you later.
Thank you.
Bye.